We have some sentimental acts. We also have some really talented acts and some that really didn't quite wow the judges. Don't go anywhere. You are watching America's Got Talent, the semifinals on AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into AfterBuzz TV, and I can't even believe we are already on the semifinals of America's Got Talent. We love this show. This is why we're here, and we're so happy to have you recap it with us. And welcome to our guest co-host, Halle.
What's up, everybody?
So sorry, guys, we don't have Rachel and Antoine today, but we do have Halle, and she loves the show, and she has great opinions, so I'm really happy to have you today.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm a huge fan of the show, and because, I'm a musician, entertainer, too, I definitely have some opinions on it, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so she's the perfect person to have because we love to have entertainers and people that really know the business. I'm not an entertainer. I mean, hosting's entertaining, I guess, but it's nice to have singers and actors and dancers and everybody that could be on the show. You should try out for the show.
Well, actually, I have a funny story about that, and maybe I'll tell you about it later.
You could tell us in our special segment. So don't go anywhere because we do have a special segment, and that is when we break down the top 5 of who we personally want to go through. This was a great episode, but before we get into that, I just want to recap last week, since we don't really get to do it on Wednesdays to recap the elimination round, so we just go through it real quickly. The acts that got eliminated were Ansley Burns, who seemed to be a fan favorite. She was like a little country singer, young, very cute. Robert Finley, who was going blind, and he was also a singer. Eric Chen, the magician. Greg Morton, who was the sound impersonator. He did like voices and stuff like that. Carmen Carter, and Masadi Brothers. So I feel very indifferent about it. I think they made a really great decision. I think America did get it right. I did love the Masadi brothers, not gonna lie. I thought that they're the perfect act. They're the perfect act for Vegas because they are acrobatics. They did a great job. They always went through. But for the most part, I do think that America did get it right. I just am a little sad about them. And then we also had comedian and ventriloquist Darcy Lynn. She won a few years ago. It was really nice to have her, and she always kills it. And it's just, she's like a pioneer, and we love her. So that basically recaps Wednesday night's episode, and let's just get into tonight. And tonight's episode was, I want to ask your opinion. So before we do our overall thoughts, don't go anywhere because like I was saying, we do have our special segment. We had some really great acts tonight. We also had some acts that didn't wow the judges, and we had some sentimental moments where some of the judges were crying, and we really felt these moments. So what was your overall thoughts, Halle?
Well, first off, I think that honestly, I feel like America got it wrong with the eliminations previously.
Really?
Yeah, because the thing is most of this episode was based off of singers, and don't get me wrong, because I'm a singer, it's like I'm happy about it, but it's missing a lot of variety. I felt like it was just majority singers. In the last elimination, it got rid of majority of the variety, so it just kind of and you know what's funny about that is I always say every week that I love singers, but I do know what you mean in the sense of I obviously love a good singer. Yeah. But like you said, it's America's Got Talent. It's not American Idol. It's not The Voice. Exactly. And the American Idol and The Voice, I do feel like that's mainly for singers. The only reason I do agree with you. The reason why I think they got it right, besides Masadi Brothers and Eric Chen, I don't know why I forgot Eric Chen. He's one of my favorite musicians. I think they got it right because I just was not. Ansley and Robert Finley were singers, so they got eliminated. And I wasn't really into Greg Morton. So I do see what you're saying, but for that week, just my personal opinion, besides Eric and Masadi Brothers, I think I get you. It's just
they did okay.
It's just the acts that we got to see tonight. It was just majority singers, and once again, I do my best not to be biased just because I'm a singer.
Yeah.
Once again, this is America's Got Talent, not The Voice, not American Idol, not The Four. So whenever I put on the show, I expect to see a variety of performances. And I just didn't really feel that. And the ones that I did saw the variety, it really fell flat for me.
Yeah.
It really fell flat for me.
I think what bothers me is I just like you said, it always is singers. Think about everyone's golden buzzer is always a singer for the most part. Besides Simon this year, Tyler Figueroa, who is the violinist, he was Simon's golden buzzer. Let's see, Julianne, Gabby, and Howie, were they all singers? Yeah, they were all singers because we had Gabby with Cody Lee. We had Howie with, I forget his name. I really wasn't a big fan of him. He was like a rapper. And we also have Julianne's golden buzzer tonight, who we are going to be talking about, and that is Luke Islam. But before we get into Luke, let's get right into it. And what did you think about a non-singing act, V Unbeatable?
You know what? I was thoroughly impressed by their acrobatics. It was so interesting to see all of them be able to come together with so much precision. The only thing that I wasn't too into is it felt like it was kind of militant in a way. Like when I watch singers, I expect there to be like some attitude and really into it and whatnot, and it just felt like they were so focused on the acrobatics, which once again I don't take away from them. God knows I could not do that at this point in my life. It's impressive. They felt more like acrobats than they did like a dance team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do see what you're saying. I think that this week was more acrobatic than the previous weeks. I think the previous weeks had a lot more dancing. But I think that's why I liked them so much, because I love acrobatics. I love flips. I love everything about it. And so I bring them up, and I bring them up a lot because last season they were my absolute favorite, and they were dance but actually more acrobatic. And they were Zucchero, and they were my favorite, and they're comparable but honestly not as much as I thought it was, because I thought they were going to be more acrobatic. The Unbeatable, but they do have dancing. I think they were in sync. They are always killing it. I love how they incorporated dance and acrobatics. So I agree with you, but I also disagree a little bit because I like the acrobatics.
Well, you know what? All is fair in dancing and wars, I guess we can say. But I can agree and disagree with you at the same time too, because they're fantastic at acrobatics. But as a dance team, I just don't feel it. I don't feel it.
And what about any of the other performances?
Let's see. I thought the magician was okay. Dom Chambers, he was a football player and also a magician.
Well, for V Unbeatable, for any of the other acts.
Oh, my mistake. Okay.
Did you feel like... No, it's okay. I didn't specify that. Did you feel like they're not good with dance in general? Because other performances, I thought their dancing was great.
No, I'm not saying that they're bad dancers. I think they're fantastic dancers. It's just when you dance it incorporates an art of feeling depending on the type of dance, and because theirs is more of like an infusion of like pop hip hop type of dancing and precision and movement, it still requires that type of attitude, that type of angst, and I just didn't feel like the performance had heart. It just had skill and precision, which is great. It's like, I guess in the music world, it's like the difference between someone who's a singer and someone who's a sanger. You know what I mean?
I honestly do know what you mean. Okay. I mean, the judges loved them, though. The judges thought they were amazing. I thought they were great too. Yeah. Except for what I don't like is like some of them make really weird faces. I don't know if you noticed that, especially the kid at the end. He's always like sticking his tongue out. I'm like, it kind of makes me feel weird, but like I don't know if that's just me. I don't like it.
It's you know what? It's a part of the whole persona, and I actually appreciated that he did that.
Really?
I wish all of them would have gotten more into character.
It's a weird character. Not a fan of it.
Well, I mean, you gotta bring in the attitude too when you dance.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's what brings it to life. It's like I said, the heart. It's the center of it, bringing in the attitude. Because anyone can move around and dance for the most part, but not everyone's like a true
like a true dancer.
Yeah, that has that heart and that passion, and you can just see it all over them when you see them dance. It makes you want to cry, and it makes you want to dance with them.
Yeah. Well, the next contestant that has a lot of heart and passion is Don Chambers, and Don Chambers, I love him because he is a great personality. I think he adds a lot of humor to his acts. I think he has great stage presence. He's very interactive with
with the audience, and just like he's cute, he's attractive, so I think he also brings in like the millennials and kind of brings in technology. Curious to hear what you think, and then I'll tell you what I thought about his performance.
Oh, but you know what? I want you to take the lead on this
Want me to?
Yeah. What do you think about it?
So, I liked his other performances better. This one, like, honestly, I didn't really think the tricks were that impressive. I didn't really understand like what he did. Like the one at the end when he was sipping the beer, I'm like, I was asking you, I was like, where do you think it went? Like it probably went through a pipe. Like that wasn't that impressive to me. Yeah. I was just like, I don't know. Like someone probably hit a button. The rest, what sells me on him is his personality. Like I found myself some of the acts, I'm just being honest, I want to fast forward there, I'm just not my thing, but his act I literally will sit there and watch and listen because he's so engaging. But as far as the the tricks, I think he's done better before.
Yeah, you know what, I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we can be on the same page when it comes to this particular act. When he first started out, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. It's kind of funny. I'm into it. And then the more it felt dragged on, and then it got to the point where he was drinking that big, huge beer. I can kind of like tell the mechanics of it. I was like, oh, there's some sort of pipe that's over there that's just leaking out the beer, so it looks like it's emptying out. I wasn't impressed by that.
I'm surprised the judges didn't say anything about that. Like that's the whole thing I was thinking. I was kind of like, where is this going? I wasn't understanding where it was going, but he sells it because of his personality. Because imagine he had a boring personality, then it would really have been bad. Just being like 100% honest.
But to be honest, to piggyback off of that, I mean, he'd be a perfect actor at Vegas.
Exactly.
Because he has variety, he has the look, he has the charm, he has the magic, and Vegas is known for all those things.
It's so true, and I think that he definitely deserves a place in the finals.
I agree.
Because I don't like when people judge off of one performance. So, say that this wasn't his best. He had great other ones.
I agree.
I like to look at the act and say, how have they been since the whole time? Have they been consistent? Have they improved? Like, what? Or I just go off of, do I like them? Do I still like watching them? And for him, I do. I didn't think it was a great performance, but this wouldn't change my mind of like wanting him to go through.
Yeah, everyone's entitled to an off performance date. And it wasn't like the whole performance was terrible. It just literally fell flat.
It just didn't nothing happened.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of felt.
Yeah, did you catch my joke, by the way? It fell flat. Beer flat. No.
Oh, I didn't get it. Now I get it. Fell flat.
It was me trying to be funny.
No, sometimes you have to remind, sometimes like jokes go over my head. So I like that. People watching are probably all over that. But the next concession. The next contestant, Luke Islam. That is Julianne Huff's golden buzzer. He makes her cry. She cried a lot this episode though, so I don't know if that says much. But what did you think of Luke?
You know what? That little boy is so talented. Like when I was his age, I would not have been able to pull that off at all. So, you know what, Luke? All hats to you. That was incredible.
Such great stage presence.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, I wrote such great stage presence. He has unexpected talent. Like when you look at him, and I don't like being the person to judge, but I think naturally everyone, you do sometimes. And so when I saw him for the first time, I was like I just didn't know what was going to happen, and I didn't expect that. Yeah, because he has a very soft kind of like voice, and I just didn't expect it from him. And he's just so sweet, and he has so much stage presence. Like he doesn't even look scared. Like he doesn't even seem nervous. He just looks so cute.
I actually was able to see the nerves.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
What did he do?
There was one point of in this performance, mostly in the beginning, where he would tremble a little bit, and it started to get just slightly pitchy, but he was able to pick it up.
So that's why I like having singers on the panel, because you're able to pick that up. Me as I'm not a singer. I don't know. Like I didn't pick that up at all.
That means he did a great job, because as a singer, if you mess up a little bit and the audience still can't tell and they still love you, that means you did a great job.
Well, Luke, I think he's going to be going to the finals.
Gave us chills.
Yeah, I think he definitely is. Yep. Okay, so first we have Luke. Next we have Lucas and Falco.
Yep.
I'll start off with this one. I think the dog's cute. I'm just not into the dog act. I don't think I think it could be a Vegas act in like, and this isn't a bad thing, like the casino or like maybe I don't think that like a smaller venue, I don't think that they deserve like $1 million and like a big stage. But I could see kids in Vegas like loving the dog act or something. Like, is that bad? Is it?
You just took him from a wide audience to children's parties. Like basically, you're gonna be a clown trick or something like that.
Like, because this is just me, I don't feel it. What I liked that the judges said Falco the dog did mess up, but like he was so cute and he kept trying and it didn't. But I wasn't like cringy like the way that way that Lucas like kept giving him like a kiss. Like it just wasn't cringy. I love how well, actually, I don't love how he said that the dog read his mind and hit the X button, and Simon disagreed a lot.
That part made me laugh. I actually agreed with Howie.
That's what I was going to ask you. So
yeah, the whole performance, I was thinking, wah, 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 wah.
So you agree with me that it's not like $1 million act?
I don't think that it is. No, I just wanted to mess with you.
Oh, okay. I was like, can you see them? Can you see them at Circus?
No, I would not get in my car and travel to Vegas to go see that show.
But what if you're in Vegas and you saw a dog show? For your kids.
I think I'd rather go hiking.
Yeah,
sorry, no offense. Maybe if he had more than one dog, maybe there's multiple dogs doing cool tricks. Like, what if they're all like jumping over each other? I don't know. Raise the stakes a little bit because dog tricks. It's so typical. I hate to say this, but we live in a society now where everything is so readily available to us. If you want to see a dog on a skateboard, just pull up YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be some sort of wow factor, and unfortunately that act just didn't do it for me.
I'm surprised he's made it this far, just being honest with you. He seems like a great person, but like, I'm sorry, I'm just not into the dog.
I really hope they didn't get to hear this, and I'm really glad that you get to be the bad guy in this situation.
I'm sorry. And you know what? I'm the kind of person like I don't want to. I like to bring a negative into a positive. So my negative was I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think he deserves a stage on Vegas, but he could be like a side Vegas act. Like that's not bad. If I didn't think you were good, I'd be like, no, you should go home. Like you're not good.
Yeah.
You suck.
Look, real talk. The dog is talented. They're a great duo, a great pair.
They're so cute.
For Vegas, probably not.
What I don't understand though, before we move on to the next contestant, is Falco's retiring. The dog's retiring. So I'm like, how is it going to be? How would it even be act if the dog's retiring?
You know what? Maybe he was pulled out of retirement for the $1 million.
Oh,
yeah, just
maybe.
like a last little hoorah and $1 million just to cherry on top. I will pull my dog out of retirement if it can make me $1 million. I'm just saying.
Honestly, I think you're going somewhere. Mm-hmm. Well, the next contestant, one of my favorites, is Chris Clafford. I love him, but I
totally disagree.
What?
Yes. What? Totally disagree. What? I thought it was lame.
Is it because he did an original song?
No, I'm all for originals, actually. I look forward to that more than a cover song.
Let me start off with the positive then, okay? I'm the positive one in this. Chris, I am not an original song person because I'm opposite of that. I'm not an original song person because it takes a little bit for me to get into a song. Like,
right.
I need to hear a song. Sometimes I'll hear a song, I'm like, this is horrible, which happens with a lot of Taylor Swift songs, if I'm being honest.
Oh.
But then I listen.
Oh, all the tasteways out there, don't listen right now.
Wait, guys. I don't like them at first, and then I become obsessed with them. So I can't listen to a song once and like it. And so he's done original songs the whole time. The judges have been half and half. They think he should keep doing original songs. They think it's great. Simon, some of the other judges don't think he should. I actually would listen to this song. I heard it, and it resonated with me automatically. I'm shocked. I am not that...
Nope.
I don't know. I think he has a huskiness. He has like incredible tone. Okay. What do you have to say, Miss Negative?
I feel like he's like a wannabe Chris Stapleton, and Chris Stapleton is better.
I mean, you're going to hate me.
Go
I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
Okay, well, you got to look him up for the next show. He's an amazing, amazing singer.
Okay.
And he kind of like they resemble each other, which is the funny part.
Really?
Too. Yeah.
Well, let us know in the comments below what you guys think. If you think that he looks like, what is the singer's name again?
Chris Stapleton.
And if he sounds like him, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what else did you...
A for effort. You know, it takes a lot to perform an original song and to also write one. The song itself for me, it fell flat. I didn't really feel like it connected very well. I'm all about songwriting structure, so it didn't get to that place for me. Like, generally when you listen to a song, you want it to tell a story, you want it to flow somewhere and have some sort of like memorable climactic. Let me ask you a question right now. Can you sing any of the lyrics from the song? Do you remember any of it?
But, okay.
Oh!
Wait, no, let me be honest.
Thank you.
No.
You just proved my point.
No.
You just proved my point.
Listen.
Any great song, you're going to remember some of the lyrics.
Even my favorite songs, I don't know the lyrics to.
Lame.
Listen, how long has Hannah Montana been on? That came out years ago.
Oh, you kind of sound like her.
I hear that all the time. But I freaking love that show and her music, and I still don't know the lyrics. Okay? Because I'm so bad with lyrics.
You're a hot mess.
I'm a hot mess. But I also don't like to listen. I know I'm weird. There has to be someone out there in the comments will let me know. I don't really listen to music for lyrics. I listen to it for the melody, for the beat, for the item
and
to
I
make
felt like
me feel.
the melody, it didn't do it. When it first started out, I was like, oh, okay, not too bad. But it didn't go anywhere. Like, it was like this.
See, that's how all his songs were, and this one I just felt different. I don't know.
Gosh.
Okay, well,
I hate to tell you you're so wrong, but you're so wrong.
And I hate to tell you that you're wrong, but I think you're wrong. It's okay. We'll agree to disagree.
Well, I'm the guest, so I win.
Okay, yeah, she's the guest, so I have to cater to you. You are right. I bow down to you, and you're the singer, so you know best. It's just like, I don't know. It's so crazy how subjective everything is.
It is.
It's like crazy how you didn't feel it and I felt it, and it's like, I guess we'll see what America thinks. But someone that America does love is Detroit Youth Choir. And I saw, I looked over and I saw you singing, or not singing, like going like this and just smiling.
I was like,
okay,
yes.
Let's hear your thoughts.
You know what? First off, those kids are extremely inspirational.
Oh yeah.
Like, their stories, I was listening and I was crying.
You were?
Yeah, I was crying.
I didn't even see that.
I'm good at hiding my tears from you. But yeah, and their choir director, Mr. White, you know what? I had a Mr. White when I was growing up, and his name was Dr. Miles.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Mr. White. I was like, what?
No, his name was Dr. Miles, and he was the guy that really took me under his wing and really immersed me into singing as well, and it kept me out of situations that were really uncomfortable, including bullying and neglect and things like that. So it just really, it tugged a heartstring in me, and I did not allow myself to be biased to that, because I know it's easy to do, like, someone has a sob story and it's my story too, therefore I vote for them. No. I actually paid attention to their musicianship, and their harmonies were on point. The fact that their arrangement was so well choreographed, like it had so many bigs, so many littles, highs, lows, and then they had the dance moves, they added in the rapping, and then girl, they added in the stepping. I was like,
oh
okay.
That was cool. Well, before I get into what I think, Simon said that it was good as their first audition, and we all need a Mr. White in your life, and I totally agree with that. I think
I caught that too.
They're talented. They have a lot of charisma. They're in sync. I think when I think of them, I think in sync. Everything between the stepping, between the singing, between the moving, like everything just flows. The only thing is I'm just not into like choirs because it makes me feel like I'm in school. And like I understand that they're kids. But just for me, I just don't I just don't. Okay, so you think they're $1 million act. $1 million act in Vegas.
You know what? Here's the only thing.
That's all I think. I have to think in my head.
All right. Here's the only thing. I don't see them as an act in Vegas. I don't think that'd be the right venue. They're a bunch of kids. Like,
exactly.
I don't feel like they belong at the Vegas show, but they do have a place in entertainment and something really powerful and make a huge impact. And I hope they continue to move forward in the competition just to gain that exposure and really make something out of it, because they're powerful, their stories are powerful, their talent is incredible. I mean, it's literally a win-win situation.
I 100% agree. I like them. I think they're great, but I just don't think they're $1 million act. And I can say that about a lot of the acts, because I'm
fair.
You know what I mean? So it's not just them. I'm just not, as a Vegas act, I think about, Don Chambers, because Magic, all that. Detroit Youth Choir doesn't seem Vegas-like, because it's kids.
They're not Vegas.
It's very a choir. That's literally what their choir.
They would have to really find ways to spice things up in order to accomplish a Vegas residency show.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to win the show, but I think they definitely need to keep going.
Yeah, and go far.
I could see them really big on YouTube in the sense of getting a channel and just creating all these videos and having all these people follow them.
Even bigger than YouTube, they should be touring the world. And doing this.
Well, they
get
could
in front of more people.
Even people on YouTube tour the world. But I could just see
right.
I could just see, because they're kids and the internet, I just see it going.
You see it?
That direction.
Out in the horizon.
I see it out in the horizon. And it's actually a very good segue to the next act, because he made us feel like we could see into the horizon. Does that make any sense? That's Alex Dowis, and the way he does his act just feels like, this is what I think of.
You got jokes, by the way.
Because I'm hilarious. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't think I'm funny. I'm ooh, that's a good segue.
Better than being funny looking in your case.
Oh, okay. She's got me.
Dig.
But, so Alex Dowis, he received a standing ovation. I love that he's creative and interesting. He always has great messages. It's just, not my kind of entertainment. That's really all I have to say. I think he's has a great message. But the thing about this, and this isn't just him, it has to do with Detroit Youth Choir. It kind of has to do with all the acts. I don't like, kind of what you said, people basing something just off emotion. I am a lot about talent. And he does have talent, but it also is always a very emotional thing. So everyone's really emotional when they watch him.
Right.
And I'm just not I don't know.
You're not a crier?
Depends.
You're not a crier.
Not on this show. I am with other shows that I'll cry over something so stupid, but if it's something actually big, I'm it doesn't count.
We're gonna have to talk about that one later.
Okay, so what did you think about this then? Did you cry?
No.
Okay, so
I didn't really feel like it was cry-worthy. I see what he was doing. He was trying to honor 9/11 coming up, which is tomorrow, which I appreciate that. As far as entertainment is concerned, at first I was watching and I was like, huh. What is that? What's happening right there? And I'll be honest too. When he drew the fire truck, I didn't even know it was a fire truck. I was trying to figure out what it was the whole time.
I was confused. Until the end.
Yeah, it wasn't until he actually pulled or started drawing the firemen. That's when I was like, oh, that's a fire truck. These are firemen. And then at the end, when Simon made the reference of oh, I have so much respect for you and blah, 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 that's when it clicked in my head. Oh, okay, 9/11. I don't know. Maybe I'm super slow. I didn't catch on to it. But it was really, really good. And keep in mind, the guy is blind too. So that's really impressive.
I always forget that. Always.
How the heck do you forget that?
I don't know. You know what's so funny is today I was watching with the glasses. Oh my God, I'm so bad. I was
lame.
I was why is he always wearing glasses? And
he's blind.
And I forgot that.
God.
I know that sounds really bad. Please guys don't kill me in the comments. I really feel bad, but
take it easy on her.
You know what it is? It's not an act. When you have an act you love, you pay attention so much, and I obviously pay attention because I recap the show, but my mind always goes elsewhere. When I watch him, I just get kind of bored. But the fact that he's blind is how does he know? Yeah, that's crazy.
It's very intuitive, and also when you've done something for so long that you're really passionate about and happen to be talented with, it just, when you put those two things together, you can create magic. And to be honest, I thought his performance was really, really good. Would I go out of my way to go see one of his performances out in Vegas? I'm on the fence.
I don't think I would.
I'm on the fence. It wasn't super spectacular. but I think it was good enough. And the only reason why I say that too is because at least his act adds variety to our current acts.
Yeah, for sure. I think that this is gonna sound bad again, but I think that he could make a really good kid show with all like different colors and stuff going on. You don't
Is
think
that where you throw people where you're like, look, dude, you're talented, but not talented enough for the masses. You get to hang out with the 2-year-olds.
Well, there's some people that obviously I wouldn't. I don't mean in a bad way. Just for me personally, like say I had kids, I wouldn't go see him, but I think that like my kids would go see him.
You know, that's fair. Kids do like colorful things.
Yeah. So if you are a fan of him, I'm really not putting him down. He's talented. He's amazing. It's just everyone has their own preference with what they like to watch.
And keep in mind, he is blind. So to be able to do that, that's actually pretty flipping fantastic.
Yeah. It really is. I forgot for a second, but now I remembered, and thank you for bringing me back to reality.
Come on now.
The next contestant, Marcin, and I always say his last name wrong all the time. Do you remember how they said it? It was Petralin?
Petralin is what it sounded like to me.
That's what I thought. I wrote it down the way that I think it's spelled.
He was fantastic.
He was great. I want to hear what you thought.
Blew me away. I play guitar myself. I don't do all that kind of stuff because it's super intimidating and it takes a lot of skill, a lot of precision, and a lot of practice.
How hard is that?
It's extremely hard.
I can't even do 2 notes. And my hand, I feel like that you can get carpal tunnel by your hands always going like this through. Is that not true?
Well, you can get a lot of things just beyond carpal tunnel, but I did find it interesting when they zoomed in on his hand that he was using a picking at really long nails. Where I don't know though, were those his actual nails or were they picks? Because I know there are some.
I didn't even
picks
see that.
Girl, how'd you don't miss that?
I don't know. I just didn't see that. You know what's so funny is watching shows, what you pick up, what someone else picks up is totally different. I didn't even see that. And there's probably people out there that are like me that didn't see that.
That's fair, and that's why we make a good team. Give it right here.
Bam! Yeah, of course we do. Well, I thought he was great. I think he's an incredible talent. I love that he incorporated an Ed Sheeran. It was Ed Sheeran, right?
Yeah.
It's I don't want everybody to kill me in the audience. I'm pretty sure it was Ed Sheeran. I was like,
I got you. I would have thrown it out there.
Yeah, so I just think it's hard to play the guitar, and he does it so fast and intricate, and Simon said it was best performance so far, and I agree. Because it's hard to captivate an audience with just one thing. There was no singing. It's him and his guitar. There was a little bit of drums.
And they had the percussionists on the side. Those fantastic. And of course the fire. And he had that attitude with it. It kind of reminded me of have you ever seen a movie that came out in the 2000s, early 2000s called August Rush?
Mm-mm.
Oh, girl. Chris Stapleton, August Rush. That's your homework for the week.
Okay.
Yes.
Chris Stapleton and August Rush?
August Rush.
Okay. I'll be sure to check those out. But I mean, I really was proud of him. He really stepped it up because he was in the Dunk and Save last week.
Yeah,
he was literally in the Dunk and Save, and if the judges didn't believe in him, he wouldn't be here. Yeah, he wouldn't be here, and I think he really that was a good save by them because if they didn't save him, he wouldn't be able to give this performance that probably brought him up to the next level.
Yeah, and I'm glad that he was there because I really, his performance, it really just moved me. You know that thing that happens when you watch or listen to a type of music and just that feeling just comes out oh my gosh. I felt that with him. And I was like, I'm so glad you're here, dude. I was giving him a slow clap from far away.
Yeah, he was amazing. Well, before we get into our last 4 acts, or 3, we have 3 to go, what do you want to tell our AfterBuzzers?
Well, you know what, guys? Thank you so much for joining in on us right now. You make us the ESPN of TV talk. So don't forget to subscribe, comment, and if you're listening to us on iTunes, go ahead and give us a good rating. It's because of you that we're able to be here, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. And let's just get right in and get through the last 3. We've been talking a lot about this stuff, and we don't have a lot of time left. What did you think about Iman Bisha? Opera singer.
All right.
Oh, no.
I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to be the bad guy against a 10-year-old little girl.
It's okay. I think we may agree.
I think someone's got to do it, though, because everyone was so kind to her. And, that's good. It takes a lot to sing opera. My first introduction to music, I was actually an opera singer. I was classically trained in it for 4 years. So
Do you not think she's good at opera? I'm going to be shocked.
It's not that I don't think she's good. It's just more so I think that she's young and she still has some learning and some training to do.
Because opera, to me, I'm not into opera at all. It's just, she's not my kind of act. I just don't like opera. Just not my style. But, like, I think her voice is amazing. I'm like, I couldn't do that. The way, like, she hits that because she's so young.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm surprised that you didn't like it.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's just more so I feel like she has some growing to do. And I feel like the judges were trying to prelude to that when they made comments. I wrote them down. They were saying things like, oh, just continue to grow. They were very encouraging. That's something you tell to someone who's really young, who you believe in, but just not quite there. And I felt that with her. Like, first off, a lot of the notes, they started to go flat and sharp here and there.
Really?
Yeah, the vibrato, it felt like the vibrato didn't carry enough resonance. And also, one of the most important parts about opera, besides the precision in the voice, is also the ability to be able to emote, to really make people feel. And I just wasn't getting it. It seemed like she was scared to be up there. And for a 10-year-old, that's super impressive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in the operatic world, they start them really, really young. One of the most famous young opera singers, her name is Charlotte Church, and she started out like younger than that, and that girl was so impressive, blew everyone away. And see, you can tell the difference when you experience someone who's like, oh, they're pretty good for their age, and then you're like, whoa, that person is amazing, and then you find out their age and you're like, what?
Yeah.
So it just didn't, it didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me.
Well, I'll definitely have to add to the list to check out that other girl you just said.
Charlotte Church.
But let's get into our last two acts before we head out. We have Ryan Niemiller and Voices of Service. I'm just going to say real quick, comedy is subjective. I didn't necessarily laugh out loud, but I think he's very likable, and I like him. I don't laugh, but it's very hard for me to laugh. It's just I'm always like that with all comedians. It's just very difficult for me.
I did not care for it at all. I understand that he was trying to, one of the best things about comedians is that they joke about their pain, they joke about their issues, they joke about the things that hurt. And that's what makes comedy so beautiful, because you're able to take something that's typically not okay and make it kind of funny. Of course, there's a fine line between all of that. But when you're doing it for yourself, it's like, okay, cool. That's what makes comedy, right? For him, when he was doing his bit, it just felt super cheesy. It felt forced. It felt like I was watching Nickelodeon or Disney Channel. No, I won't.
Back to the kids.
I won't even say Nickelodeon. I'll say Disney Channel, because Nick at least has Nick at Night, and I don't even think he could cut it there.
Oh my God! Well, what did you think about Voices of Service? I feel like you're gonna love them.
I didn't love them. I like them.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised the way you were looking at them. I just, you know what I mean, in your eyes.
I thought it was cool. I told you.
Love their story,
The stories aren't always the it for me that makes me like, oh my gosh, they're so amazing. I want something more out of that, and I want the talent to kind of speak and shine. They are extremely talented. They have a powerful message. They have a powerful movement, and their voices blended together with the harmonies was fantastic. They actually sounded like a full choir.
Yeah,
I closed
they were
my
really
eyes
good.
and I was like, whoa, what is happening? But at the same time, I still wasn't overtly impressed by it. But that doesn't mean they weren't great. I feel like for maybe the next person, they were fantastic, and they can do wonderful things, especially within their type of field where they do a lot of outreach work for people who've been in the service and have been traumatized for it. That is super powerful. I can see them traveling all over the world, helping people rehabilitate, music therapy.
And kind of like Detroit Youth Choir, they have a great message.
Wrong. Detroit Youth Choir, I think they can go for.
Well, it's been really fun having you on this panel, because I love having different opinions and really getting to get into stuff like that. So before we head out, we just got to do our special segment, and that is our top 5 who we want to go through.
Yes.
Who are your top 5?
So my top 5. Number 1 would be Detroit Youth Choir.
Woo woo!
You're welcome. And then next I have Marcin, our percussionist guitarist. And then Luke Islam, our Broadway singer. Dom Chambers, our magician. And V Unbeatable. our acrobatic group. I can't call them a dance group.
Okay. Well, yeah, they're more acrobatic.
Yeah.
But I have Chris Clafford. No, you're going to disagree. The Unbeatable.
Very much so.
Dom Chambers. Marcine. And then number 5, I had, this is a weird one, I know. I had Ryan Niemiller and Luke Islam. And even though I'm not like a super... I'm not into like his comedy as much. I don't know why. I think that Ryan has a lot. He can do it because I watched comedians in the past few years, and when they got into the finals, they kicked it up so much, and I actually found that I liked them. So I think giving him the chance would be pretty cool. But
you know what? 3 out of 5 ain't bad. I think we did a great job. Let's go one more time.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. It was great having you. If you want to tell everybody where we can find you, Holly.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Halle Johnson, and you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the things at Pure Halle, PUREHALLE.
And you can find me on Instagram at Justine Devana. We love bringing this after show for you guys. We love hearing from you, so definitely leave some comments below what you thought about the act. Did you agree with us? Did you not agree with us? And be sure to tune in next week. We're going to be recapping the live shows once again. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.